on to some other stories that we are tracking very closely is where a possible government shutdown looms over the United States. The crisis is growing with the October 1st deadline coming closer for the US Congress to pass funding legislation. Budget talks continue to stall the House of Republicans, which failed to agree on a spending plan, bringing down the shutdown possibility closer with each passing day. Now, if a consensus regarding budget is not reached within 5 days, then the federal government may go into a shutdown affecting the markets, the travels, businesses and the government services. Paychecks of government employees will be halted, non-essential services will shut down, and the economy may see a decline of 0.2% every week. The shutdown that lasts. A shutdown will happen if the Congress fails to pass funding bills, and 12 such spending bills must be passed to keep the government functioning. My colleague Rishabh is joining me on the phone line right now to get us more details. Well, Rishabh, a possible crisis is looming large on United States. If the consensus is not reached on the budget and a plan for the spending is concerned, then of course it's going to impact the markets, the travel, the businesses and government services. Take us through, is there any plan in place that the government is contemplating? Is there a dialogue process? Because the 1st October deadline is only a few days away from now.
It's hardly five days left for the bill to be passed. And remember, this is happening when Republicans have taken over the House. Republicans are in majority in the House, though the government belongs to Democrats, but the Senate, the Congress belongs to Republican. And Republicans are not agreeing to the spending plan of the Democratic government in U.S. And remember, this is happening when there is, if we talk about the GDP of U.S., it is around 33 trillion, but the debt is over 37 trillion, and that is the reason that the Republicans are now saying that we need to work on debt. And remember how big this issue is when President Joe Biden was traveling to Japan and further to Australia. He had to cut down his trip to Australia and return from Japan, given that the House had asked him to appear and talk about the debt crisis that the country is in. So definitely the situation, the economy of U.S. is not in good shape. And with this, politically also we can see that the political economy is also not in good shape, where Republicans are now tightening noose around Democrats to ensure that the Democrats' policies are not applied. And given that there is election hardly in 1 year in U.S., this is very, very important. It will not be easy for Democrats to convince Republicans and go ahead. So definitely a possible federal shutdown looms over United States from here.
Absolutely, Rishabh, and we will be keeping a close track of all the developments that takes place there and come back to you for more on the story.